everydaygamers.com.
Hey guys, Tom from everydaygamers.com, and just like I did with Nintendo's E3 press conference and Microsoft's E3 press conference, I wanted to go ahead and do an overview on Sony's E3 press conference and do it the same exact way that I did the other ones, go through some of the announcements, tell you what I thought, and at the end I'll give you a letter grade on how I feel Sony's press conference was overall. So let me go ahead. I have notes here like I did for the other ones. So if you do see me looking down once again, that's because I'm just trying to read off the notes that I wrote down. First of all, just some key things that I felt, with watching this. I feel like Sony had the best opening. And the only reason why I think that is because, number one, with Microsoft, I felt like they overdid the whole Rock Band thing. That is coming to every console. And while Beatles Rock Band is kind of a neat thing, it's not something that I felt like deserved all the attention that it got from Microsoft. And to kind of start off your press conference that way, and then just to announce that they have an exclusive song, big deal to me. Now, Sony opened up with a video just kind of displaying some of what they have, and you could hear from the reception that the video received that the press thought it was really well done. I thought it was really well done, and it just kind of displayed and opened up the show for for Sony in a really good way, in my opinion. Then you had Jack Tretton come out, who was the host of Sony's E3 press conference, and out of the three press conferences, I had to say that I like Sony's presenters much better than I, like the other presenters. Something about Tretton, and I know that Sony hasn't done a lot of things right, and some of what they've been criticized for has been their arrogance over the past few years. But Jack Tretton just seems to be more of a down-to-earth, more of a natural speaker, and I felt like he did a better job and did the best job out of all the other press conference announcers and everybody else, all the other speakers who had come out. He has some, things that actually garner some chuckles from the audience, by saying stuff like, I'm glad you guys chose to show up. Microsoft's announcers, Nintendo's announcers, especially like Reggie, they try to get some laughs, and it went without any laughs at all. But some of the things that Tretton said actually made people laugh. And Sony does a good job of kind of poking fun at themselves for some of the things that they've done over the past. And I think that they've tried to right the wrongs of what they've done. So anyways, let me go ahead and get on with this a little bit more. Like I said, I felt like Jack Tretton was the most natural. And actually, even when Kaz Hirai came out, felt like he was very natural as far as presenting Sony's press conference. They received genuine applause from what they were showing, and just overall, I felt like it was very well received by the press who were there. Now, they start off by talking about the PlayStation 2 and mentioning that, they always try to go for this 10-year life cycle. We've heard that time and time again from Sony, and at this point it's kind of like, yeah, we know this. But, Tretton did mention that they're dedicated to supporting the PlayStation 2 as long as the consumers see a quality in that product. And that's good to know, because the PlayStation 2 has done a good job, even over the last couple years, of coming out with some big titles. As recent as, 2-3 years ago, we've seen God of War 2 come out on the console. We've seen games like Persona 3, Persona 4, two of the better RPGs to come out in the last few years. Come out, Devil Summoner 2. So if you're an RPG fan, there's still a lot of good content coming out on the PlayStation 2 console. And it's nice to know that Sony's not just going to abandon that console like Microsoft did with the original Xbox. And, they just kind of dumped that system as soon as the 360 came out. And then they made mention of Infamous, which, that's cool. We already know Infamous. It's out already. Just so you guys know, if you want to see my opinions on it, I actually have a full written review over at everydaygamers.com. I'll put the description to my left in the more information box. So I'll put the link actually over there. If you guys want to check out my opinions on the game, you can click on that link, and it's a nice short article. Tell me what you think if you guys want to check that out anyways. So they did say, Infamous is already shaping up to be this summer's biggest blockbuster hit, and I think that is a fair statement for them to make. It's definitely a wonderful game, and if you haven't got a chance to play it and you own a PlayStation 3, I would recommend checking out the demo for it. But let me get back to the press conference. Immediately after that, they followed up with Uncharted 2, Honor Among Thieves, which, in my opinion, is probably the best looking game that I've seen in the entire show. They showed gameplay footage. It was well received by the press who are covering it. When in the beginning, when Drake climbed up to the top of that tower and it showed the landscape, just the draw distance, the scenery, the overall just graphical appearance of the game looked amazing. And as always, I felt like Drake was really genuinely funny with some of his witty comments that he made. So it was kind of cool, to see that. I apologize for my phone ringing. Just ignore it. It'll go off in a minute. After that, they then brought out the producers behind MAG, Andy. I wrote Andy Bodwin, who is from Zipper, and Zipper is obviously the original creators behind SOCOM series. They came out, they showed gameplay footage, and they said you're going to, for the first time, be able to see, live gameplay footage of this game. And they said we brought out, I think it was 4 other people on stage. It might have been 8, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was 4 other people on stage. And then they showed on the screen there the people they had there, and then it panned out and it showed everybody who was playing, all 256 players, which was kind of overwhelming, a really big statement on their behalf to say, look, this is actual gameplay footage, this is actually what it's going to be like with 256 people playing. And the game looked really good. It looked like a lot of fun. If you're an online shooter fan, it looks like it's a no-brainer. And graphically, it looked really well. There was some frame rate issues, but I think it's pretty early on in the development cycle of this. So, in that sense, it's not that big of a deal that it wasn't as smooth or as flawlessly presented as you would want it to be. I just think that give it more time, it'll probably be something that's going to run really well on the PlayStation 3 console. And it is going to be playable on the floor, so we'll get to hear some impressions from the press who get a chance to play it. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, come back for part 2, and hopefully I can finish everything out in that part.